Elon Musk has no social conscience or conscience whatsoever. I don't know, whatever Elon Musk is on, it says that that's okay to continue to air that is absolutely disgusting behaviour. And quite frankly, the bloke should be jailed. And the sooner that we can bring rules in or do something about this sort of game playing with our social media, the better off we're going to be. But quite frankly, the power that man has, because of that platform that he's on, it's got to stop. It has absolutely got to stop. That bloke should not have a right to be out there on his own ideology platform and creating hatred, showing all this stuff out there to our kids and doing all the rest. I'm very interested to watch what the US is going to do with TikTok and how far that they can do with trying to get rid of that platform as well. So I think we're all watching on the United States at the moment to see what they're doing. But seriously, if we can move, and if that means in the next sitting that we can shut him down from doing this, because this is
happy to kick them out? You kick the platform out?
I don't give a stuff about the platform. I'm happy to go off the platform today, to be honest with you. I already have a list of all you journalists. I don't even know why we're on the platform. But I say this to everybody else. I'll be switching off X today. I'll be doing that before I get to the airport this afternoon. And I suggest that the other 227 members of parliament do the same thing and show them that you mean business. Because when you want to lead by example, it has to happen from here. It has to happen from here. So start switching off X. Start throwing it back at him. But we've got to start from here.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the censorship industrial complex once again coming out to Elon Musk because they don't like content that he's allowing on X, which in my opinion is the largest free speech platform that we have, or the closest thing to a free speech platform, because I know a lot of people, left and right, upset with Elon Musk because, in some situation he make tough decisions about whether or not he wants to really allow absolute free speech. But for the most part, it is the best platform in my opinion. And I really do believe that he's making a sincere effort to make X the most free speech friendly platform that we have, even if it's not perfect, because you guys got to understand the circumstances that this guy is working under. Okay. I mean, the left and mega corporations are attacking Elon Musk, pulling advertising dollars from the platform because he's allowing free speech. So I think it's quite reasonable to say that Elon Musk is not going to get his $44 billion back that he paid for X. And he's probably losing billions for free speech, okay? Which is something that is commendable, even if you don't think the guy is perfect. He's not financially benefiting from what he's doing. That is for certain. So that brings me to the story right here out of Australia involving their woke government, their woke politicians and prime minister who want to force Elon Musk to censor content outside of Australia, okay, because they've deemed it to be harmful and potentially hateful. Therefore, they are trying to get Elon Musk to censor it. And in typical Elon Musk fashion, he is giving them the middle finger in the most Elon Musk way possible. And this is not the first time that Elon Musk and the Australian government have had run-ins over free speech on X, because apparently this government is so woke that they tried to police misgendering on the platform.
Chris, we've had him on this program, has submitted a notice of appeal against the e-safety commissioner in this country, Julie Inman-Grant, over her takedown order for his post where he supposedly misgendered a trans activist. Tell me the latest with this case. It's a fascinating one. It's one that got international attention. People were shocked that this was happening in Australia, and you would think the e-safety commissioner would have bigger priorities, I don't know, child exploitation for one, than to bring down posts on X.
Yeah, that's right. Look, there is a serious issue with the exposure of children to, graphic and obscene content, and it needs to be dealt with. The problem that you've got here with this e-safety commissioner, she's an activist.
Absolutely.
She will continue to expand her role to police the internet, to censor debate in a way that's consistent with her own ideological views. We're just talking about the EPA. It's the exact same problem. You have these unelected bureaucrats that have vague powers, and they will fill it with their views. And she has a track record of censorship, and it only ever targets one side. And unfortunately, we're seeing that happen again.
And let's not forget, we've mentioned it before on this program, she was appointed by the coalition government. This isn't some Labor appointment. This is an example of the coalition wasting power. You do wonder why, you know, what's the point of voting for them?
Well,
they kind of just appoint lefties to run the bureaucracy.
And also the misinformation and disinformation laws that started under Paul Fletcher when he was communicating. Now, this government's gone way further, but they permitted it through allowing it to go as far as it did.
Yeah, so I asked those same questions about Republicans here in the United States of America, right? And especially today, okay? I'm thinking like, what is the point of electing Republicans if they're just going to let Democrats put their boot on their neck, okay, and to essentially just get everything that they want? They're simply just a speed bump, hey, in the way of the woke Democrat agenda. That's what it seems like to me, in my opinion, okay? So again, I guess people across the world that are on the conservative end of the spectrum, on the right, are feeling kind of the same way about their parties, right? The people that are supposed to be on their side. But anyways, as you heard there, okay, the woke e-safety commissioner of Australia has essentially weaponized her power in order to try to force Elon Musk to remove posts that she doesn't like, right? That the government has deemed to be harmful and hateful. And again, this is something that has been going on between Elon and Australia, the Australian government, for a while now. And it is really ratcheting up because the woke e-safety commissioner recently asked Elon Musk to remove the video of the stabbing of Bishop Marmari Emanuel that happened on April 15th. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this situation, long story short, this bishop, who had been previously criticized for speaking out about Islam, okay, and again, this is a Christian bishop. He's speaking out about Islam. He was critical of the faith in some aspects. He was given a sermon, and in the middle of that sermon, he was stabbed, okay? And thank God he survived, but he was stabbed, and the suspect that stabbed him, allegedly, this was motivated by religious extremism, okay? That this was something that was motivated by this guy's criticisms of Islam. And now the Australian government wants this video not just removed from X or blocked in X in Australia, but also globally, okay? And Elon Musk is saying, no, I'm good. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to allow the video to stay up. And now the Australian government, including the prime minister, they are losing their minds, right? They're losing their minds because as they try to basically force Elon Musk to take down the video through their federal court system, Elon is essentially refusing to block the video outside of Australia. Take a look.
I want to ask you about Elon Musk. He's mocked you this morning for choosing censorship and propaganda over free speech and truth. What's your response to that?
Well, this is a bloke who's chosen ego and showing violence over common sense. I think that Australians will shake their head when they think that this billionaire is prepared to go to court fighting for the right to sow division and to show violent videos which are very distressing. He is in social media, but he has a social responsibility in order to have that social licence. And what has occurred here is that the E-Safety Commissioner has made very sensible suggestions. Other social media companies have complied without complaint. But this bloke thinks he's above the Australian law, that he's above common decency. And I tell you what, I say to Elon Musk that he is so out of touch with what the Australian public want. This has been a distressing time. And I find this bloke on the other side of the world, from his billionaires' establishments, trying to lecture Australians about free speech. Well, I won't cop it, and Australians won't either.
So what happens if the vision in question here isn't taken down?
Well, of course, there is a court order has been put in place. It's a sensible proposition. No one is above the law. Not Elon Musk, not any Australian citizen. when it comes to operating here in Australia. He has a business that gives him a lot of profit, and I just find it extraordinary that this bloke thinks he's above the law and above common decency. This shouldn't be a matter of the law. It should be a matter of people doing the right thing.
Can you get a meeting with him, or should moves be made to speak to him? Would you be even interested in that?
Well, I think our position is very clear, and Mr Musk has made his position clear. This bloke thinks he's above everyone. Well, that's not the way that Australia operates, and we have sent a clear message across the board. Politicians in Australia across the political spectrum are backing the E-Safety Commissioner, and they're backing the E-Safety Commissioner because she's acting in the interests of common sense and in the interests of common decency.
Does that, the fact that he does not care though, does that show how weak laws are to try and stop him from doing what he's doing?
It shows how arrogant this bloke is. That's what it shows. But we'll continue to pursue. He had a loss in the legal system last night with this interim decision, and we will back the E-Safety Commissioner, as I'm sure every parliamentarian will. And Mr Musk should be very conscious of the fact that Australians are united on this issue.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. This type of overt authoritarianism that unfortunately is very, very, very prevalent in the West, okay? Because what you're seeing here is a government that is saying, hey, although you censor the content in question in our country, that's not good enough. You have to remove it from your platform, period. That means you have to censor it worldwide, okay? Elon Musk is saying, no, right? I'm not going to do that. I've already censored the content in Australia, okay, where you have jurisdiction, right? This is your country. Okay, I did what you wanted me to do in your country, okay, that impacts the users in your country. But the video itself is stored on U.S. servers, okay, and I'm not going to remove it. I'm not going to block it worldwide simply because the government is asking me to do that, right? Again, the world is not under the jurisdiction of the Australian government, okay? I don't know who they think they are. Maybe they think they're the U.S. government, okay? Because it seems like the U.S. government thinks that, you know, we are the world's police and stuff like that. So I'm just saying, that's the problem here, okay? It's not that Elon Musk is not censoring it within Australia, which is what these politicians should be worried about. No, they're mad because he's not censoring it worldwide, right? That anybody in the world can see the video on X. Now, again, why would they want this content censored so bad? Well, I mean, it's obvious why they want it censored, because they don't want to show that, hey, there is violence that is being done towards Christians, right? They don't want people to see that, okay? I mean, we all know that when you have acts of violence that happen that involve other groups of people, they won't stop showing it, okay? They want to continue to show it to you all day long on repeat. They want to put it in your face, throw it in your face to make you feel some type of way about it, right? Like, for example, I mean, that's essentially what the George Floyd situation was, okay? How many times was this video played over and over and over and over and over again across the world? Well, it was played millions, if not billions of times. Why? To elicit a response, right? To elicit a response, to let the world know that, hey, black people are being oppressed and killed by white police officers in the United States of America. That was the narrative that was being pushed, okay? It was a narrative that fit with the left-wing agenda. However, when it comes to this video, a act of violence in which a bishop, a Christian bishop, was stabbed by what seems to be an act of religious extremism, that doesn't really fit the leftist narrative, okay? So therefore, they're going to deem it to be hateful and harmful because Christians might get upset, right? They don't want Christians to get upset. Evidenced by this viral video of UK police pulling up to this guy's home in the UK because he put out a response to what happened to this bishop on the internet that the UK police didn't like.
So why are you here today, sorry? No, you can all sit down, it's not a problem. You've literally just missed the missus and that. They've gone out like 10 minutes ago. Yeah. So what's the issue?
So it was just to, you know, obviously what we've been told, that you might have a few concerns, a few things that are bothering you at the moment.
Yeah.
Whether there's
that's
anything
bothering everyone else in the country right now. So what are the concerns you're here for? Because this is religious discrimination right now, you know. Because you wouldn't be knocking on Muslims' doors if they had this conversation. Because I already know why you're here. So this is religious.
Why do you think we're here?
I don't know. What's the priest told you?
They're just people have raised concerns.
What concerns?
About your views.
What
whether
views?
That you've got concerns about what's going on in Australia.
Yeah, so I'm an Orthodox Christian. Now you've turned up at my house because I went and see my priest. So I'm going to get you all on film because this is going straight to my solicitor.
So what are your concerns? Is there anything that we can help with?
No, firstly, I don't mean any disrespect to any of you. I don't want to sound abrupt if you can tell me why you're here.
So I think, as PC Sounds explains, so there was a report about some beliefs being expressed. So the reason I'm here is I work for the NHS, and if you're willing, I'm happy to talk and listen with you about
fine.
if you've got any concerns about your well-being.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Klaus, out. Sorry.
No,
because he's just jarring otherwise. You can sit down, mate.
So my understanding is, now I'm not a police officer, I'm a nurse, so my understanding is...
So because I've questioned about the church not acting on the behalf of Christians, you're now turning up here with mental health nurses, assuming that I'm some right-wing nutter.
So no one assumes anything. Can I explain my point of view? And you're happy, I'm happy to...
No, that's fine, because I...
Yeah, so apparently in the UK, police will show up to your house if you go online and express concerns about a Christian bishop being stabbed. It's insanity. It really is. We really are living in clown world, guys. And like I told you guys, there's a complete and total double standard when it comes to what happens when people that disagree with the left protest versus when the left protest. When the left protest, oh, it's free speech. Okay, when the right protest, oh, well, that's violent and hateful. Okay, again, it's funny how that works. Unless the left is protesting people that, you know, the left says that you can't protest, then at that point, it's not free speech anymore. It's a problem, okay? But anyways, yeah, I personally see what the Australian government is doing as just an overt example of what a lot of these governments, including the United States, want to do with social media, right? They want control over speech. They want control over what people are allowed to say. You heard at one point, one of the politicians mentioned the ban on TikTok, okay, and how she agrees with the United States essentially trying to do that in some aspects. Maybe more so they're trying to force TikTok to sell to an American company. But regardless, they're not doing it to protect you, right? They're doing it for more power and control, right? That is why the government always acts, right? They always act in their own best interest to preserve themselves and to make themselves more powerful. And it's just kind of crazy to me how Australia thinks that they have the ability to tell the CEO of a multinational corporation that, hey, you can't show content across the globe, even though he already blocked it in Australia. Right? It just shows you how power hungry these people are, right? And what the agenda actually really is when it comes to banning platforms like TikTok, or when it comes to situations like this where they're saying, hey, you can't show this video online. Again, they just want more power and control. That's what they want, okay? They want to be able to control what you see, what you feel, and how you think, right? This is what they want to control. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.